Chosen one. This message didn't arrive by accident. It slipped through layers of time, resistance, and distraction just to find you. Something ancient within your spirit recognized it before your mind could catch up. That quiet pull in your chest, that sudden stillness around you. That's not coincidence. That's remembrance. You've been walking through shadows carrying questions you never fully spoke out loud, surviving storms no one ever investigated, and wondering why your life has felt like a divine interruption instead of a smooth path forward. You've felt the confusion, the moments when clarity almost broke through, then vanished. You've endured loss that didn't make sense, doors that closed without explanation, relationships that collapsed right as you began to believe. And deep down, you've asked the same haunting question: why would something so right be taken from me? And Chosen One, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe and comment. Comment if your spirit is already responding, because this message is about to speak directly to you. This isn't a click, it's a signal, a declaration that you're present, aware, and ready for what's about to unfold. Here's what you were never told. The universe didn't block you to punish you. It intervened to protect you. There were outcomes you couldn't yet see, endings wrapped in light on the surface but carrying destruction underneath. Forces you didn't know were watching, timelines that would have cost you your peace, your purpose, even your life force. Heaven saw the investigation before the evidence appeared. It saw the betrayal before the embrace. It saw the price before the promise. Chosen One, you weren't denied. You were diverted, redirected because your calling is too precise, too potent, too disruptive to be wasted on paths that only looked aligned. The battles you survived weren't random. They were initiation rites, proof that even in confusion, you were being guided. Even in delay, you were being guarded. And now, the fog is lifting. The truth that was hidden for your protection is rising to meet you. Stay with me, because what was removed from your future is about to be revealed, and what remains is destiny awakening. Chosen One, let's begin here. At the moment everything seemed to stop, not slowly, not gently, but suddenly. One day the road was open, your vision clear, your heart invested, and the next it was as if an invisible hand stepped in and said, "No further." Have you ever wondered why it felt so abrupt? Why there was no warning, no gradual fade, just a divine interruption that left you questioning yourself, your faith, and even your worth? Here is the truth most people will never understand. Sudden blockages do not happen to ordinary paths. They happen to purpose-driven paths. Chosen Ones walk roads that carry weight, spiritual weight, generational weight, destiny weight. Your life is not casual, and neither are the forces surrounding it. When you move towards something that could shape your future too early, too fast, or without the full armor of wisdom, the universe doesn't hesitate. It intervenes. Think about it. Why would the interruption feel so intense if what you were pursuing was insignificant? Why would the resistance feel intelligent, calculated, and precise? Because it was. You weren't being stopped because you were wrong. You were being paused because you were early. Some doors look like answers, but they open into lessons you weren't meant to learn through pain. Some opportunities sparkle, but hide consequences that would drain your spirit before your mission even begins. So the universe steps in, not as a punisher, but as a protector. Have you noticed how others around you seem to move freely, even recklessly, without consequence, while you face resistance the moment you step slightly out of alignment? That's not unfairness. That's selection. Chosen Ones are governed differently. You're corrected quickly because the cost of being lost is higher for you. Your soul carries assignments that require clarity, strength, and timing. The universe cannot afford for you to be broken too soon. These blockages weren't random delays or signs of failure. They were coded messages saying, "Not like this, not yet, not at this cost." And even though it hurt, especially because you didn't understand, it saved you from outcomes you couldn't yet perceive, from entanglements that would have dimmed your light, from battles you weren't meant to fight at that stage of your awakening. So let me ask you something. Looking back now, Can you see how that sudden stop preserves something sacred within you? Can you feel how your spirit matured in the waiting? The universe didn't remove your path, it refined it. And the fact that you're still here, still seeking, still listening, is proof that the protection worked. Stay present, because once you understand why you were blocked, you'll also understand what is opening next, and why this time, nothing will be able to stop you. Chosen one, have you ever chased something that shimmered so brightly it seemed impossible to resist? An opportunity that promised growth, success, or fulfillment, only to have it collapse in your hands? Have you asked yourself why some doors, when opened, seem to bring only chaos, heartbreak, or disillusionment? This is not a failure of your spirit, and it is not a reflection of your worth. What you are encountering is a sacred truth of the universe. Sometimes what appears as opportunity is actually destruction in disguise. The universe has a way of cloaking lessons in beauty, danger in allure, and redirection in promise. You may have felt it in your bones, the tension before a decision that felt too good to be true, the whisper in your intuition that something wasn't aligned, but still the pull was magnetic. That is how destruction often presents itself to chosen ones. It does not announce itself with fanfare. It comes subtly, hidden beneath the glittering surface of what seems like advancement. It comes to test your discernment, your patience, and your ability to recognize divine timing. Ask yourself this: have you ever looked back on a path you were so sure about and realized it would have led to devastation? Perhaps a relationship, a job, a move, or a venture promised fulfillment but carried hidden consequences. What seemed like a yes, what seemed like your moment, was in truth a setup for a heartbreak or a setback that you were not yet equipped to handle. Your heart may have mourned the loss, your mind may have questioned your decisions, but your spirit, silent and patient, knew the truth all along. The universe blocked that path because it was shielding something far greater than temporary satisfaction. Destruction wears many masks. It whispers in the language of temptation. It seduces with timing that feels perfect but is fundamentally misaligned with your destiny. And for chosen ones, this lesson is amplified. You are walking a road that demands both courage and discernment. Every detour, every closed door, every failed chance is a signal, not of inadequacy, but of protection. The universe is guarding you from outcomes that would have stolen your essence, dimmed your light, or delayed your purpose indefinitely. Can you feel the power in that perspective? The weight of understanding that what fell apart was never meant to define you, but to refine you. That what you thought was loss was in fact preservation. When you begin to see destruction as divine redirection, the pain transforms into clarity. You start to trust not only the visible signs of life, but also the invisible guidance, the pauses, the delays, the sudden stops, that are all working in your favor. In Chosen One, this is the point where patience becomes a superpower. The universe does not hand out wisdom lightly, and it does not allow you to move forward unprotected. Every door that closes, every path that ends, every opportunity that collapses is a sacred intervention, guiding you toward what is truly aligned, safe, and destined for your highest good. You were never blocked because you lacked capability. You were blocked because the timing, the conditions, and the preparation were not yet complete. So now I ask you, are you ready to see beyond the illusions of opportunity? Are you willing to trust that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, has been orchestrating a path that no human mind could fully comprehend? This is the point where recognition turns into revelation, where heartbreak becomes teaching, and where divine protection becomes undeniable. When you finally see the difference between what seems like a blessing and what truly serves your soul, the waiting, the loss, and the pain will no longer feel like setbacks. They will feel like the precise, intentional steps of destiny unfolding just for you. You are not here by accident. You are here because even in the collapse of what seems certain, your spirit survived. You are here because every no and every hidden danger was a silent yes. To life, to purpose, to the calling that only you can answer. And as you prepare to move forward, remember this: the universe's timing is perfect, its wisdom flawless, and its protection unwavering. What seems like destruction today may be the most sacred form of preservation you have ever known. Chosen one, take a moment and reflect. Have you ever felt that strange mix of frustration and relief when a door you thought was meant for you suddenly closed? Maybe you mourned it. Maybe you raged against it. You thought you were ready, that you deserved it, that nothing could stop you, but somehow the universe stepped in and said, "Not yet." What if I told you that in that very moment, unseen forces were quietly at work, protecting you from consequences that would have shaken the very foundations of your life? What if that block was not rejection, but salvation? Every path you have pursued, every opportunity you've chased, every dream you poured your soul into carries hidden layers, threads of possibility that your human perception cannot yet see. You only see the surface, the promise, the excitement, the potential joy. But behind it lurk possibilities that could have led to heartbreak, betrayal, or loss so profound it might have changed the trajectory of your spirit. The universe is not careless, chosen one. It moves with precision, removing dangers before they even reach your awareness, quietly shielding you from outcomes you could not have predicted. Think back to moments where you were blocked, delayed, or redirected. Do you remember the frustration, the questions, the gnawing uncertainty? Now imagine what might have awaited you if you had been allowed to walk through that door unchecked. Relationships that would have drained your light, investments that would have swallowed your peace, choices that could have shattered your sense of self. The universe acts as a silent guardian, pulling you back, pausing you, steering you away from what could have been catastrophic. And yet, while these protections are invisible, their impact is profound. Ask yourself this: how often have you narrowly avoided situations that, at the time, seemed insignificant, but later revealed hidden dangers? How often has life's redirection saved you from entanglements, conflicts, or endings you could not have anticipated? Every missed opportunity, every closed door, every path blocked in your journey has been a form of divine intervention, a protective hand guiding your destiny in ways you may only recognize much later. What may have felt like punishment was actually preservation. What may have seemed like delay was actually preparation. The universe works in ways that are subtle, patient, and infinitely wise. It knows the outcomes you cannot yet see. It recognizes the betrayals you would face, the losses you would endure, the devastation you could survive but not thrive through. By removing these dangers before they touch your life, it ensures your spirit remains intact, your mission remains unbroken, and your calling remains alive. You may never fully understand the scope of what you were spared, but the fact that you are still standing, still dreaming, still moving is proof of its careful orchestration. And chosen one, can you feel it? That deep resonance in your soul telling you that you were never abandoned, never misled, and never forgotten? Every block, every redirection, every delay has a purpose beyond your comprehension. These interventions are not arbitrary. They are sacred, intentional, and aligned with your destiny. Your life is being curated with precision, each step measured and protected, each heartbreak avoided, each trap dismantled before it could harm you. So now I ask you to breathe and recognize the depth of your preservation. The universe has removed dangers you did not even know existed, keeping your essence safe, your purpose intact, and your spirit strong. The unseen consequences you were spared from are gifts in disguise, and they carry a truth that will reveal itself fully as you move forward. The blocks, the pauses, the interruptions, they were never your enemy. They were your salvation. And as you prepare to continue your journey, remember this: what lies ahead is no longer shadowed by what could have destroyed you. You have been carefully, divinely, and prophetically protected. The doors that are opening now are not traps. They are sanctified paths, aligned with your mission and destined to awaken the full power of the chosen one within you. Stay alert, stay trusting, and stay ready. What you're about to step into has been waiting for your soul all along. Chosen one, let's talk about the feeling that lingered after the door closed, the confusion that settled in your chest instead of relief. You expected peace once it was over. You expected clarity, but instead there was fog, questions, a quiet ache that didn't make sense. Why would protection feel like loss? Why would divine intervention feel so disorienting? This is where many lose trust, but this is also where deeper understanding begins. Protection rarely arrives wrapped in comfort. It doesn't announce itself with explanations or gentle reassurances. Often it feels like something precious was taken from you without permission. You wanted it. You worked for it. You prayed over it. You imagined your future with it. And then, suddenly, it vanished. No closure, no clear reason, just silence where certainty once lived. That silence wasn't abandonment. It was a pause designed to stretch your perception beyond what your mind could immediately grasp. Your confusion wasn't weakness. It was the natural response of a mind trying to process a decision made on a level higher than logic. Your heart was invested in what you could see, the effort, the momentum, the promise. But the universe was responding to what you couldn't see, the unseen outcomes, the energetic consequences, the long-term cost to your spirit. When protection interrupts desire, the mind rebels. It asks, why would something meant for me be taken away? But what if it wasn't taken? What if it was postponed, rerouted, or replaced with something safer for who you are becoming? Have you noticed how confusion often appears right before a breakthrough in awareness? That's because confusion signals the collapse of an old understanding. The version of you that wanted that path believed it was the destination. The version of you emerging now is learning that it was only a test of discernment. Your mind hasn't caught up yet, but your soul already knows something important happened. That's why the confusion feels heavy but also strangely quiet, as if something deeper is rearranging itself beneath the surface. The universe doesn't explain itself immediately because explanation would interfere with transformation. If you had known the full reason at the time, you might not have grown into the clarity you're developing now. Confusion creates space for humility, patience, and deeper listening. It slows you down enough to notice patterns you once ignored. It invites you to sit with discomfort long enough to gain wisdom rather than instant gratification. So ask yourself this, chosen one, what if the confusion was never meant to break you, but to prepare you? What if the lack of relief was intentional, designed to detach you emotionally from a path that only felt aligned? What if your spirit needed time to release its attachment before your eyes could see the truth? Protection doesn't always feel like safety. It often feels like interruption. But interruption is sometimes the only way to prevent devastation. As time passes, the confusion will soften. Pieces will begin to connect. You'll see how quickly things could have gone wrong, how fragile that situation truly was, how much of yourself you would have sacrificed to maintain it. And in that moment, relief will finally arrive. Not as a rush of emotion, but as a deep, steady knowing. A knowing that says, I was guided, I was spared, I was cared for even when I didn't understand it. Stay patient with your confusion. It's not a sign that you're lost, it's proof that your perspective is expanding. The universe hasn't finished revealing why that block occurred, but it will. And when it does, you won't just feel relief. You'll feel gratitude for a protection that trusted your future more than your present desire. Chosen one, there comes a moment in every awakened life when you must ask a difficult but transformative question. Was I being punished, or was I being protected? At first it feels like punishment. The delays pile up. The progress stalls. The path you were sure about suddenly feels sealed off from every angle. And emotionally it weighs on you. Doubt creeps in. Frustration grows. You begin to wonder what you did wrong. But what if those very signs were never meant to break you, only to stop you? Protection rarely arrives loudly. It doesn't always feel loving or gentle in the moment. Often it shows up as repetition, the same door closing again and again, the same plan stalling no matter how hard you push, the same resistance rising in your chest every time you try to force what isn't aligned. These are not coincidences. These are patterns. And patterns are the universe's language. When you see them clearly, everything begins to change. Think about it. How many times were you delayed just before committing fully? How often did momentum vanish right as things seemed guaranteed? Those sudden stops were not accidents. They were precision. The universe doesn't need chaos to protect you. It uses timing. It uses resistance. It uses emotional discomfort to alert you that something ahead is not safe for the version of you that is still forming. Punishment drains you. Protection restrains you. And there is a profound difference between the two. Have you noticed the emotional resistance that came with certain paths? Not fear, but heaviness. Not anxiety, but a quiet inner no that grew louder the closer you got. That wasn't self-sabotage. That was intuition amplified by divine awareness. When the universe shields you, it often does so internally before it acts externally. Your energy pulls back, your excitement fades, your spirit hesitates. These are signs that your soul recognized danger before your mind could name it. When everything seems blocked at once, relationships, plans, resources, timing, it's easy to assume you're cursed or forgotten. But chosen one, mass blockage is rarely abandonment. It is containment. It is the universe forming a shield around you, preventing you from scattering your energy, committing too soon, or entering cycles that would cost you years of recovery. The more valuable the mission, the stronger the protection. And your life has never been ordinary. So let me ask you, what changed when you stopped pushing and started observing? Did clarity begin to rise once you surrendered the struggle? Did you notice peace slowly replacing urgency? This is where perspective shifts. Frustration dissolves when understanding takes its place. You realize the delays were buying you time. The stops were preserving your strength. The resistance was steering you toward alignment instead of illusion. Recognizing these signs doesn't erase the pain of waiting, but it transforms it. Waiting becomes preparation, delay becomes design, and what once felt like rejection reveals itself as guidance of the highest order. You are never being punished for wanting more. You are being protected because what awaits you requires wholeness, wisdom, and impeccable timing. Hold this truth close now. The universe has been watching over you with intention, not judgment. And as you learn to recognize protection in disguise, you step out of frustration and into trust. What unfolds next will make sense, not because it's easy, but because it's aligned. And alignment, chosen one, is the greatest confirmation you were ever meant to receive. Chosen one, take a deep breath and let this truth settle in your soul. What was blocked in your life was never a denial of your dreams or your purpose. It was a deliberate act of preservation. You felt the frustration, the longing, the confusion, the ache of reaching for something that seemed just within your grasp, and then slipping away. But that slipping was not rejection. That slipping was divine intervention, safeguarding the most sacred part of you, your calling. What was removed from your path, what collapsed unexpectedly, was never meant to diminish you. It was meant to protect the mission that only you can fulfill. Consider this. Your calling is not just a goal. It is a vibration, a frequency, an assignment that resonates deep in the marrow of your being. And like any powerful energy, it requires precision, timing, and protection. If you were exposed to certain challenges too early, too unprepared, you could have been derailed, distracted, or even broken before your purpose had a chance to fully emerge. The universe knows the stakes. It knows the battles you could survive and the ones that would have consumed you entirely. That is why blockage exists for chosen ones. It is the shield placed between you and what could harm the integrity of your mission. Have you ever paused to reflect on what might have happened if nothing had stopped you? What if you had plunged forward, full of ambition, but not yet equipped with the discernment, patience, and spiritual strength needed to navigate what awaited? Relationships that would have corrupted your energy, opportunities that would have depleted your spirit, circumstances that would have hidden the truth from you, these were quietly removed from your timeline. The universe stepped in to preserve not just your life, but your calling, ensuring it remains intact until the precise moment when you are fully prepared to wield it. This preservation is not passive. It is active, deliberate, and unwavering. Every delay, every closed door, every sudden stop was a guardian standing in place, holding space for your destiny to mature. And though you may have felt frustration, disappointment, or even despair, this protective intervention has been crafting you, refining your strength, sharpening your insight, and aligning your spirit with the frequency of your purpose. What was blocked was never lost. It was curated, carefully secured, waiting for your readiness to meet it with wisdom and resilience. Ask yourself this, chosen one. Can you feel the strength in that realization? Can you sense the sacred timing that has been orchestrated on your behalf? What was blocked was not a failure. It was preparation, it was protection. It was the universe's way of saying, your calling is too precious to expose too soon. The path that remains is alive, potent, and waiting for the moment when you are fully equipped to walk it with courage and clarity. Your calling has survived every collapse, every disappointment, every delay. It has not diminished, it has been fortified. And now the energy around it, the timing, the unseen guidance, all converge to prepare the stage for your emergence. The blockages you endured were not obstacles. They were guardians, shaping a destiny that is larger, brighter, and more aligned than you could have ever imagined. And chosen one, can you feel the anticipation rising within you? Can you sense the subtle vibration of a destiny that has been patiently waiting, protected, and preserved just for you? The moment is approaching when what was held back will begin to flow. Not because the universe allowed it, but because it knows you are ready. Your purpose is alive, untouchable, and waiting for you to claim it fully. Every block, every delay, every moment of confusion was a sacred preservation of what is yours to fulfill. Your calling is intact, your spirit is intact, and the universe is ready to reveal the next step.